Hello guys, today I'm going to show you some groups of animals. Let's get started. First, we have a group or streak of tigers. Next, we have a family or pride of lions. Here we have a family or pack of brown bears. Here's a pack of red pandas. Next, we have a bamboo of giant pandas. Here's a group of snow leopards. Snow leopards are solitary and it's rare to find them in groups. Next, we have a pack of black bears. Next, we have a nursery of raccoons. Next, we have a mob of emu. Next, we have a leap of leopards. Here we have a pack of cheetahs. Here's a dazzle of zebras. Here's a candle of giant anteaters. Here's a herd of wild boars. Next, we have a brace of ducks. Here's a colony of koalas. Next, we have a mob of meerkats. Here is a herd of hippopotamuses. Here's a crash of rhinos. Here's a pack of wolves. Here's a leash of foxes. Here's a herd of deer. Here's a nest of giant turtles. Here's a herd of African elephants. Here's a crash of Indian rhinoceroses. here's a herd of Asian elephants. Here's a caravan of camels. Here's a family of orangutans. Here's a family of gorillas. Here's a herd of moose. Here's a float of crocodiles. And lastly, we have a congregation of alligators. Here I'm going to make an animal shelter diorama. And I'm going to show you some young and big animals. Here are the animals. Now let's see what animals we have here. Here's a big kangaroo, and here's a young kangaroo or joey. Here's a big Asian elephant, and here's a young Asian elephant. Next we have a young zebra, and here is a big zebra. Next, here is a big meerkat. And here is a baby meerkat. Here is a big tapir. And here's a small or young tapir. Here's a big koala. And here's a young koala or joey. Here's a big panda. And here's a baby panda or a cub. Here's a big emu. And here's a small or young emu. We have a baby or young giraffe. And here's a big giraffe. We have some more animals. Let's see what we have here. Here's a young African elephant. And here's a big African elephant. Next, we have a young wildebeest. And here's a big wildebeest. Here's a big chimpanzee carrying a young chimpanzee. Here's a big gazelle. And here's a baby gazelle. Next, we have a baby gorilla. And here's a big gorilla. Here's a young raccoon. And here's a big raccoon. Here's a big deer. And here's a young deer or a fawn. We have a young moose. And here's a big moose. Here's a big hippo. And here's a young hippo. Here's a young African rhinoceros. And here's a big African rhinoceros. Next, we have an Indian rhinoceros. Here's a baby or a young one, and here's a big one. And lastly, we have a big camel. And here's a young camel.